Says I think this is a really, really difficult one. I mean, I think it's 17 unbeaten in all comps as well. So, they are flying at the moment. They've got a really good setup, some really good players there that will just make it very, very difficult. And I think Selhurst is always a difficult place to go. I mean, Liverpool have a really good record there in recent years, but I can't remember them ever winning one comfortably. They must have had about 5 last-minute winners in the last 10 there, I swear to God, because it always seems to be an absolute battle. So, I'm expecting no different in this one, and they could not be in better form or more confident. There's a real kind of, good atmosphere around the place at the moment, and they're getting European football this season as well. So I just think this is really tricky, and I genuinely think if you offered me a point from this now, I think I'd snap your hand off, because I think there are such things these days as a good point. I know they went away for a while when Guardiola teams were putting up kind of 98 points or whatever, but I think we're maybe back in that situation where that middle part of the Premier League has come up to the point where you can go away to Crystal Palace with the form they're in and say, do you know what, a draw is not the worst thing in the world. So I think I'd shake hands on that now. Of course, Liverpool are more than capable of winning. Particularly we're going to have Isak in the team, I imagine. So, he's got every chance of putting them to the sword, but it's going to be difficult, I think. Slightly worried about this one, I'll be honest.
Yeah, you mentioned Alexander Isak there, and I think it's fairly certain that he's going to start up front for Liverpool following Ekitike's red card. But does that not sort of throw Slot's plans off a little bit? Because you would imagine that he would have been the starter, or certainly would have been in contention for a starting spot. But now you wouldn't think that Isak can play the full 90 minutes, and that would probably then lead to Federico Chiesa coming on. And I thought he was fantastic against Southampton, by the way. But with Liverpool's history in recent games of needing late winners, to not have another striker other than Chiesa to bring off the bench, that surely is a concern for you.
Yeah, I feel almost certain, really, that the plan would have been to start Ekitike in this one, get him to the hour mark, and then bring on Isak to maybe score that late winner that Liverpool will inevitably need. So that plan's gone out the window, and I think that was part of the reason that the manager was so fuming. It's because he clearly did have plans for this game, and they've now been thrown out, and Isak's not quite fully fit. You want to manage him, and yet your options to do so are now limited. So it's incredibly frustrating. But at the end of the day, we talk about the fact that Liverpool have needed both of them, and it's for situations like this, a suspension, an injury, any of those reasons. And so Ekitike is not going to be available for this one. So you've got to unfortunately go with a £125 million man up front to start the game at Crystal Palace. So it's not a terrible situation he's in. And to be fair, if that means a sub for Chiesa at the hour mark, then again, you've got a player who looked fabulous, I thought, against Southampton last night. So, he looks in really good form. He's already scored a late winner for Liverpool this season. He was involved in the one at Newcastle as well. And the fans absolutely love Chiesa as well, don't they? So I don't think, Liverpool are in a desperate situation, and I'm pretty sure they're going to put out an 11 and a squad that is more than capable of winning the game.